Thank you so much. Hi, great to meet everybody today. Speaking to you from Tel Aviv. Without further ado, guys, as you know, COVID-19 erased 10% of pensions in under 1 month in the beginning of this year, right? So although I know a lot about pensions, I'm here to talk to you about the new revolutionary technology that enables anybody, anywhere, anytime to invest in and benefit from the asset class of real estate in order to protect and grow their wealth. So myself, my journey started, I'm Yael Tamar, CMO and co-founder at SolidBlock, and my journey started 20 years ago on Wall Street, where I worked for a broker-dealer. From there, I moved to do M&A, private equity, as well as financial engineering, structuring different indices and benchmarks for pension funds, real estate funds, and so on. So my personal dream has always been to become an investor, and specifically investor in real estate. However, very quickly, I realized that real estate investment is closed by design. You need a lot of capital to invest. Deals are largely inaccessible, as well as the nature of investment is highly illiquid. Your capital is locked for 5 to 7 years at a time. SolidBlock enables investors to buy and sell any property at any time, anywhere, like NASDAQ for real estate. So by using blockchain technology and our global network of compliant financial institutions, which allow us to raise from almost any corner of the world, we're able to lower capital requirements for investing in this asset class. We're able to create a global reach for investors and projects and facilitate tradability and liquidity of the asset class through issuing compliant, tradable digital securities that are backed by property. If you're looking at the traditional real estate model in which you can enter only during capital raise as an investor, you're looking at kind of this increase over time of the asset value, and you can exit all the way at the end. Compared to that, our model, where with tradable digital securities, you can see how how value fluctuates and prices fluctuate, with owners being able to exit early, and by generating profits here, we're creating a whole new industry which encompasses analytics and trading tools and indices, benchmarks, and a whole new wave of finance for digital securities. In other words, SolidBlock is transforming real estate into a tradable financial product, connecting asset owners with investors and traders of real estate through our securitized token offering platform. We are issuing securitized offerings, as well as we are facilitating the trading over the counter through our own platform, as well as trading on different exchanges into which our products are listed. Our claim to fame is the Aspen Coin project, which was the first tokenization project for commercial real estate assets. We raised $18 million on our platform. This project was really popular. We issued the product in 2 months, and then it got oversubscribed in another month and a half by investors in the US and in Asia. And interestingly, just a few days ago, it was listed on the T0 platform and actually recorded really high volume in just a week of over $200,000 for this product, with lots of trades. So our platform is fully operational with deals worth over 100 million that we're issuing this quarter. We have a highly extensive pipeline of projects, which are mainly residential in nature due to COVID, with a few commercial here and there. And our business model is to take an origination fee of 1.5% from raise, as well as carried interest in the project itself. We are joining each project as a co-GP and helping, from the management standpoint, we're managing the financial asset, and we're taking carried interest, usually up to 50% of the carried interest from the project itself. We have some competitors in the space, and we're happy to join the ranks of some really cool companies. Our approach was very light when it comes to regulation and self-licensing. So instead, we took 1.5 years to establish a global network of compliant and distribution partners as well. And we're also focusing on providing bridge into the world of decentralized finance and providing financial solutions. So that's our differentiation in the world. My co-founder's background is in IT. Yuval spent over 10 years building his own IT company in the US, moved to Israel and managed a very successful IT company, has had several ventures prior to SolidBlock. Myself, I mentioned my financial engineering background, and I've also been an entrepreneur building fintech startups as well, and in the field of blockchain for over 4 years. Why right now is the time to invest in tokenization? Number one, as I mentioned, COVID-19 increased demand for liquid products. Everybody's pension fund is about 60-65% stocks, which is extremely volatile. We can move that into real estate and some other more stable assets. Regulation has been really, really positive for trading private assets, starting with the US, moving into Europe and everywhere else. Governments actually are very positive when it comes to blockchain. And finally, of course, blockchain technology is now used by every single bank out there and a lot of financial solutions. Guys, out of 300 trillion real estate assets worldwide, only 1% is liquid or tradable. So if you guys want to join the revolution and help us make property available for everyone and work for everyone, you're invited to join our seed round, which is happening right now. Otherwise, I'll be happy to answer anybody's questions. Thank you, guys.
That was a great pitch. Thank you.
Thank you.
You did a very good job of explaining the problem and getting right to the point in what you do. So well done. Help me understand some of the projects in the pipeline. So I think you're in Israel, and must be getting late there actually. And then you've got a project in Aspen. It feels like you should be centered in New York. Is this an Israeli domiciled company, or are you U.S. domiciled now, or how are you thinking about sort of where's the lowest hanging fruit in this market for you?
In terms of investors and accredited, especially accredited investor base, U.S. is definitely the place to be. And we are a U.S. company, in fact. The founders happen to live in Israel, especially at the time of COVID. We're usually spending at least a week or two in the U.S. But we actually started out as a U.S. company more because we were working in the Gulf. But now that Israel is making peace in the Gulf, my phone is ringing off the hook. Phone calls from Dubai. But in terms of our projects, we're spread out. We have projects in Europe, projects in the UK, projects in the US, and we're focused on the US investor base, also partners in Europe. So our focus is really on, geographically is on the investor side.
Okay, and on the other side of the marketplace, is it predominantly the actual the commercial real estate holders, the owners of the building themselves, or are you working with banks on securitization of portfolios, or where's your sort of your entry point there?
Yeah, we're working with asset owners. We're not doing mortgage securitization. We're working with asset owners, as well as we started working with funds recently.
Okay. Thank you.
My question was more around the, so you work with a lot of new projects, which Aspen was, for example. How do you keep them on the platform afterwards? And how do you monetize that part as well? Or is then more a free flow market afterwards?
Yeah, afterwards we have a maintenance fee to just basically keep up with the cap table and update the cap table. In fact, we now have a new model in which a project can be listed and traded in different places, possibly even listed on stock exchanges that just started entering this space. And at the end of the day, the final cap table is being updated on SolidBlock on blockchain, right? So there could be several cap tables that at the end kind of trickle down into one SolidBlock.
Is there any issue with taxes as you know, as you go more international and so on, and real estate taxes are really closely monitored by country? How do you attack that part of the business?
So in terms of taxation, it's very similar to traditional security taxation. So we have to look into the origin of the project and the investor's country and make sure there is some sort of a tax treaty. Obviously, investors are encouraged to seek their own tax advice, but if we're certain that certain geolocation, investors from several jurisdictions cannot safely participate without incurring double taxation, then we'll let them know so, and we'll also limit the marketing to those regions. So we're working now on kind of automating this and making sure that certain IPs are blocked when investors are coming in, or alerting them about that when it comes to specific projects. But otherwise, taxation is, again, it's similar to that of financial products. Investors coming in should expect, similar types of taxation as the rest of their financial portfolio.
Great, thank you. More on the just going on from that question. That's great on the taxation of a new project, but when I'm reselling my shares of a project. Yeah.
So you're reselling your shares, again, this is a security. So if you incurred income, most likely this is going to be capital gains tax. Like you would sell Bitcoin, or you would sell another security from some corporate entity. So most of the time it's going to be capital gains. If you're getting interest or dividend from a project on a regular basis, then most likely that's going to be income tax or combination.
Brilliant, thank you.